Hey, what's up? This is George Shamon, and in this live presentation, just to mute this, I'm gonna go over what kind of web hosting you need if you wanna make your own website, or even if you need to establish, like connect a website on the internet. What kind of web hosting you need. This is what I'm going to be talking about. And as you see in a title, there are three main types. The shared hosting, you have the private hosting, and the dedicated hosting. Those are the three main elements. Sometimes you see more options, but that's the main categories. And we're talking about self-hosted services. If you want to host your own website, basically you have to, if you want to select a web hosting company, and you want to have your own website or other services besides the website, this is what I'm talking about. Self-hosted, it means you select the web hosting company, and then you decide what design or what website, how you can build your website. Unlike hosted or pre-made websites and themes like Wix, Weebly, and Squarespace and Shopify. Those are example of hosted themes or websites. Basically, you don't do much with the back end of the server or the application. You don't have to worry about it. Anybody can do it, and if you want to get advanced in coding, you can use coding too, like HTML, CSS, and other JavaScript and other programming languages. Uh, but the one I'm talking about is like, let's say, Hostinger, Bluehost, iPage, A2 Hosting. Those hosting companies that you decide what you want to use on your website. Do you want to use a website builder? If it's made, if it's ready on the web hosting service, like the one I use is Hostinger, and I have I use the website builder, but I have the option to use another, like upload a theme or a template or code it from scratch, which is like impossible. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So what are you from? Cuddle Juice. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the live stream. Let me know if you have any questions. We're talking about web hosting, private hosting, dedicated, and the virtual private server. Those are some of the kinds of web hosting. If you're looking to choose a web hosting for your website or for your application, the application becomes different from the website. The website is very light. Any web hosting company can host your website. Any plan, like the shared plan is good for web hosting if you're starting with a web host. Guys, let me know if you have any question in a comment box about web hosting or making websites, and the tools you need, and share your comments, and make sure, if you like this kind of content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, so you'll be you won't miss any future updates, and hit the notification button. This way, every time I go live or make another video, you get some kind of notification. I've been doing a lot of live streams recently, and I want to help you guys. I want to help people with the skills I know, which is HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript. I'm not very good in JavaScript, and website building, how to set up a website, how to use templates, and the basic stuff. If you're new and you don't know what to do, these videos and this content, the contents I make, is good for you and will help you a lot. If you're advanced, you may know this stuff. But if you're, so I will subscribe. Yes, thank you. What are you from? Yeah, welcome to the live stream, Jose Perez, Cuddle Juice. I'm coming to you live from the US, from the state of South Dakota in the US. So, and now it's 5:30 Central Standard Time. October, let me see, October 20th, I think, 2024. I am in Vernon. What is Vernon? What state is it in? Vernon. I've heard of Vernon. Is it in the? It's in the U.S., right? I am in Vernon. Yeah. So yes. So the if you want to make a website, the use the shared hosting. It's the cheapest, the least expensive, and you know you got a lot of options, and you have the options you need. But if you want to build an application, I can I can I can give you an example of an application that came to my mind not too long ago. I use Linux. I have at home a Linux machine, like the desktop version of Linux, and I have the server. So I have two computers. One is running Linux desktop version, and the other one is running Linux server, right? So uh, if you want to run an application, and I was thinking of just like I have home, I can log in the terminal and I can type commands in my Linux machine. I want it to be on the internet because I can do it from home. I have my Linux servers at home, but I was thinking to have something on the internet, like a web server or a private server. I can talk about the private server in a minute. And then I found out you have to have some type of application, so you can have, yeah, so you have to have a VPS, virtual private server. So this is a different plan from the shared hosting. So in the shared hosting, and this is usually the least expensive, you can use it for a website, but it resides on a web server with other websites. Basically, you're sharing the resources, like you're sharing the RAM, the hard disk, you're sharing the CPU. So there are so many resources that you share with others if you're using the shared hosting. But if you're using the virtual private server, you have your own virtual server, and that nobody will use the it's a virtual machine. Basically, it's running on the top of a dedicated on the top of a physical server, and the physical server will have a layer called hypervisor, and on the top of the hypervisor you have different containers running Linux machines, and this is a virtual private server. Basically, uh, you don't need um, like you can have your own virtual memory, virtual CPU, because so basically you use the same physical server, but you have a privacy at the virtual level, so nobody else will use your resources at the virtual private server, you know. And then you can have applications. You can have, like, you can do installation on a server, and you can go do applications like client server applications. Let's say you want your server on the internet to be to have a website, and within the website you want a terminal to appear where you can type commands. This is one of the applications I was thinking of making at one point. So this is, in this case, you need a virtual private server. You cannot do it with a shared hosting. With a shared hosting, because you don't have root access, you cannot access the main resources. So and you cannot change any resources, like the memory, the RAM, and the hard disk. But if you have a virtual private server, then you can you have access to the memory, and how to use it and how much to use. Nobody else will use it. So Guys, I want to welcome you to this live stream. If you have any questions in a comment box, let me know. We're talking about web hosting and when do you need shared web hosting, when do you need a private web hosting, and when do you need a dedicated server. Dedicated server, you don't need it for an application, but if you're trying to create a business online, like related to web hosting, and you want to provide web services applications for different entities, you might need a virtual server. Like, let's say you're into the web hosting business, you have to have a physical server, and you decide how to use it, you know. So, guys, if you have any question, let me know. Drop it in a box or in a comment box, and let me know if you have any questions. So, yeah, and in the case of shared web hosting, that's all what you need for a website. You know, if you want your own web hosting service versus having a Squarespace website or Weebly or Wix. Those guys have their own web hosting, so you don't have to you know, to look for a web hosting in each case, because some services they already have their own web hosting. You don't have to worry about the back end of the server. You know, this is the case in Squarespace and Shopify and Weebly. You know, they take care of the back end, but you can still do programming like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You can make changes to your website. It depends what plan do you have. So yeah, and yeah, the virtual private server is more expensive, and the dedicated server is more expensive too than most. So you want to make sure uh, you understand what you're looking for and what kind of apps you need, and what kind of services you're trying to host, and then you'll decide what plan you want. Is it the shared plan? Is it the virtual private server? Is it the dedicated server? So those are different, levels of web hosting plans. Domain name. Obviously, you need a domain name for your website. It doesn't matter what plan do you have. So. Guys, if you have any question about web hosting and what plan or what type of hosting you need for your website or app, submit your comments in a box below your question, and make sure you subscribe to the channels. Let me know if you can hear me. If you're on this live stream, just drop a comment in a box, say hi, and let me know if you can hear me to make sure I'm getting my point across, and you can hear me well, because sometimes the audio and the video does not transmit correctly. And also, let me know where you're tuning in from. Are you in the US or overseas? What state are you from if you are in the US? I am in the state of South Dakota. I'm coming to you live now at 5:41. It's Central Standard Time, 5:30 in the evening, 5:40 in the evening, and it's October 20th on Sunday, 2024. So let me know where you're tuning in from, and if you have any questions, so I can help you now. If you're trying to make a website, I can help you. What tools you need, what resources, what to select, what kind of services. So anyone else? Anyone have a question? Let me know if you have a question, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. I talk about software and software as a service, and they're geared towards making websites. So that's what I talk about, and I talk about making SVG files using Inkscape and other free software. I talk about Linux, using Linux commands. Linux is very important skills to learn if you are in a technical field when it comes to computers. It's a good skills to have. And what else? Yeah. So Anyone else have a question about web hosting, domain names, what tools to use if you want to make a website? Is it your new website? Do you have an existing one? Let me know. Are you looking to redesign a website? Also, let me know. We can talk about it. What kind of services you need? I am in a process of redesigning my website soon, and I have Hostinger. I'm using their website builder, but the design, the look, the way it looks, I don't like it too much. I want to change it, so I'm gonna be. And I'm not a designer. I'm trying to learn web development, so I know how to use HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript, but I am not a web designer. I don't know much about design. So if I make my own website, it's not gonna look good and people don't like it. So what I'm gonna do, I have someone give me a design and convert it to my website and develop it, or buy a pre-made templates and then upload it to the website and edit it the way I want to. Change the text, change the picture, the photos, and the videos if it has a video. This is one of the best ways, guys. If you want to make a nice website, you can buy a template which has good design. You pay for it, and you have somebody upload it to your web hosting and fix it, or you can learn how to do it yourself. So it's not that difficult, but you need some skills to know. You have to know about FTP server, FTP client, how to use FTP to upload the files from your computer to your web hosting, and you have to know how to use the web hosting control panel, or H panel in my case. And also, it's good to know how to use Google Analytics and other tracking mechanism to track your visitors to your website. When you have a website, you need to know who's visiting the website and where, and what resources is it coming from, and so yeah, there are so many services you want to learn, but you can't learn everything in one day. You can progress, but start first, taking step by step. Learn how to use the web hosting control panel of a website, of a web server, web hosting company, and learn about domain name, hosting companies, templates, what resources are available for making a website, so and decide what kind of service do you need. Do you need uh, a shared hosting? Do you need a private server? Do you need a dedicated server, or you'd rather get away from the web hosting, the self-hosted, and use Weebly and Shopify and Squarespace? This way, you don't have to worry about your own web hosting, because they already have a web host and they can host your website. You just have to worry about making the design, developing your. Even they have templates. So. Guys, if you have any questions, submit it in a comment and let me know if you want me to discuss any other topics related to making a website and the domain name. Let me know if you have any questions too. If you have any questions, let me know. I can help you right now live on this, on this live stream, and let me know where you're tuning in from, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more videos like this to teach people about software and skills I know myself, as long as it's not related to the telecom, because I work in the telecom industry and I don't want to talk about it, because that's my main job. I do this on the side, make videos on YouTube, uh, learn software, make simple websites. I can help you with that if you have any questions. So, yeah, so yeah, we're talking again about making websites, and what service do you need, what web hosting, what domain name. So let me know if you have any questions about web hosting, domain name, And if you're planning to make a website, or if you have a website and you want me to look at it for evaluation, for auditing, let me know. We can work on it. I can give you some insight or some opinion. And if you have a website you're thinking of redesigning it, let me know. You know, redesigning a website, you have to do a lot of thinking, a lot of planning before, and you have to decide what you should use. What service, what design. Can you do it yourself? It depends on your skills. Do you want to hire somebody? You know, so there are so many options and there are so many ways to make a website nowadays. You know, making a website can be easy if you don't want any customization, or you're using a template, or like a web service like Squarespace and Shopify. It's not that difficult, you know, and you can use their templates. They already have hosted websites templates. So basically, if you join Shopify and you choose one of their templates, you know, it will make you the website, but you have to edit the pictures and the text. Also, if you use Squarespace, same thing, Wix, Weebly, all of them. But those services, you have to have some knowledge, and it takes time to learn the dashboard and the control panel and how to use them. You know, they tell you they're easy. Anybody can, work on those, make a website, but it's not that straightforward. You have to learn the platform. So this is why you have people using Wix, you have people using Shopify, you have people using Squarespace. But my recommendation is to start with a self-hosted web hosting company like Hostinger or Bluehost or iPage. Those, they don't have ready-made websites. Even though they have some templates, they have the website builder you can use, but you have more freedom. And this is how you learn about web hosting in the beginning and making websites. And you can upload a theme or a template of a website, and you just have to edit it. You know, nowadays, starting, making, I took some classes online, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you want to start coding from scratch to make a web page, it's very difficult. It's not that easy. It takes a lot, you know. So the smart way is to learn first HTML, CSS. This way you learn how to edit a web page if somebody gave it to you, not to start from scratch. And then you can use templates or themes, templates and themes, and then you can edit the text and the video and the photos. You just change the photos, you change the text, and you'll have a good design. But as long as you know what you want to use, what kind of text, what's the messaging, what kind of business you have, or what kind of portfolio, what you're interested in. Because before you get into designing a website, you have to plan it before, and you have to know what text do you have to add to the main page, to the about, to the. You have to plan it, and you have to decide on a content before you make the website. You know, I'm not talking about a blogging. I'm talking about a regular web hosting. You know, regular website, simple website you want to make. You have to plan what do you want to include in a website. You know, so this is why you have to prepare your content before. I made this mistake before. I used to upload themes and templates. They're very nice, but I didn't know what to write and what to type in where it says text. I was not ready. So then I realized you have to prepare your text first, and the messages and the copy. They call it copy of the website. What you want to type on each page, and then you choose the design, and once you select the design, you can add the text and the pictures. So guys, if you're on this live stream, you're tuning in, I want to thank you so much for tuning. Let me know where you're tuning in from, or submit your questions in our comment box, and let me know if you need any help in certain questions about making a website, web hosting, domain name, what service to use. You know, I'm here now. I can help you live right now if you let me know what you're interested in. And if you have a question about, again, we're talking about web hosting should you use the shared, the private, or the dedicated? And we're talking about each one. When do you need it, and when do you use it? So if you have any questions, let me know. So yeah, questions. Anyone have a questions, comments, topics you want to discuss? What topics you want to discuss? Questions. Again, we're talking about web hosting and the type of web hosting you need and when do you need them. If you have a private, just for a regular website, you can use the private web hosting, the shared one, I mean. And if you need an application, to make an application, you need a private server, virtual private server. It's more expensive, but it will give you more options. And if you need a fully dedicated physical server, you can do that. It's more expensive, but it depends what you need it for. If you have a business like web hosting and you want to rent out, on your server spaces and applications, that will be private too. But the next step, if you want to make an application, is the private uh, server, which is the virtual private server. And so let's see. Yeah, guys, let me know if you have any question. Can you hear me, or you want me to put the headsets here? I don't know if you can hear me, or you want me to use the headsets, the ear sets. If you want me to use those, maybe I can hear me better. Hello? Okay, can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me, or even if you cannot hear me, drop it in a box, let me know. This way I know I'm not talking to myself. So, who else? Anyone have a question? Drop it in a comment box if you're interested to know about making a website, about web hosting, shared, private, virtual. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. If you want me to answer your questions and help you, and I'll be making more videos like these. So yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from, and so any questions? All right, so let's look at the cost of each one. So all right. Okay, so I'll show you my computer here. Uh, so so let me show you. For example, this is my web hosting company, Hostinger. Let me flip the screen. So if you flip the screen, let me show you the plans here. So this is the plans. They have WordPress, They have website builder, and then they have the hosting here. It says web hosting for small to medium websites. There's cloud hosting for large scale VPS. That's the one we're talking about. Dedicated resources to scale virtual private server. This is the virtual private server here. So this is a great option. This is if you want to run your own applications and have a server on the internet, you can have one of those. And you know, it says you can choose the data center where you want to host it, and then you can choose the CPU, how many virtual CPU you want. You want two, one, two, four, five. It goes up in the pricing, but you know, it depends what you need. And then you have the RAM. This one has 4 RAM, 8. So those nobody will use except you. You know, one person, whoever buys a virtual private server hosting plan, they'll use those and nobody else can use them, you know. So and also you can have your domain here. Okay, and also this is the website builder that I use myself here. Create a website with ease. So you get this screen here. This is the back end of the server, you know, and these are the options you use to build a website using a website builder. And it's drag and drop, you know, from the elements here. You go here and then you start adding, you know, drag and drop. So, and then they'll give you the options what you need here, you know. So any questions, anyone have a question, let me know in a box, in the comment box below. So this is the hosting, you know, you can use, but you don't even have to have this, you know, you don't even have to select this. If you jump to other platforms, they already have their website web hosting. You don't have to worry about it. All what you have to worry about building the website, you know. So and then it's important to know how to use Google Analytics. So let me show you Google Analytics here. This is very important, you know. Let me flip the screen. This is Google Analytics. It's very important to learn, you know. So it shows you the visitors to your website, and there's a way to fix it, you know, to actually not to fix it. Uh, there's a way to set it up on your website, you know. This is Google Analytics, you know, and then it'll give you, let's say, a real time overview, and it'll give you a lot of statistics about the visitors to your website. So like let's say over you here, so it shows yesterday and today there was 5 active users, and it tells you where they came from or the reference, you know. And there are so many options and information you can get from Google Analytics, but you have to add it to your website. So and then once somebody visits your website, it's gonna be registered here, and then you'll know where they're visiting from, what country, how long they stayed, you know. So there's a lot of information you can acquire. So traffic acquisition. Okay, that's the traffic acquisition. That's an example here. So let's say it says referral 1, organic video 3, direct 6. So, and then it will give you more information about the demographics here, the demographics details. If you look at it, it says United States, Bangladesh, Netherlands. So that helps too, you know. So anyone else have a question about what we're talking about? Anybody have a question? Drop it in the comment box. I'm looking at the comment box right now if you have any question. Also, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I want to help you too. Anyone else have a question? We're talking about web hosting, domain name, making websites. Anyone have a question? Let me know. Drop it in the comment box so I can answer you now. This video will help you if you're trying to make a website on the internet or change your existing website. It will help. Any questions, comments, topics you want me to discuss related to website making, HTML, CSS, using Inkscape to make vector graphics? Let's see. I don't see any questions coming in. Anyone have a question so I can answer you now on this live stream? Oh, let me add my website. No. Anyone have a question about web hosting, domain name, making a website using a website builder? I am at my computer now. I can log in and help you with questions you may have. Anyone else? Questions? New topics? Analytics. Let's see what's in the comment. There's nothing in the comment now. So all right. So anyone have a question? Who else? Questions, comments? It's 19. Hey guys, let me know where you're tuning in from. So we know where you are now in this world. Anyone have a question? Any one of you uses Squarespace or Shopify or Weasly? Those are great platforms too. They're very famous. 5 users, overview. All right, so I guess no questions coming in, so I'll hang out for a few more minutes and maybe I'll wrap it up, because if there's no questions coming in, I won't be able to stay because there's no feedback, no discussion. But if somebody asking a question, I can hang out and help with the answers or. Yeah, maybe I'll wrap it up in 2 minutes. If there's no questions coming in, it doesn't make sense to stay because nobody is watching, or if somebody is watching, not interested. So we need to have some comments in the chat box. All right. So, okay. So it looks like nobody coming in and asking questions. I see people, they tune in and out and without adding or submitting any questions. So, see. Okay. So I think I'm gonna wrap up this session because there's no questions coming in, there's no conversation. And I already presented in a first 10 to 15 minutes about web hosting. And I don't have any other topics to discuss right now, but we're gonna wrap it up. Okay, thank you so much for joining this live stream, whether you're on it now or before. And thank you for listening to it if you are on the future replay. My name is Josh Shamoun, and I make those videos to help users and tutorials about service as a service. and I make on this channel. I named it HTML, I named it Web Page Coder, and it means I can make codes, so I'm not limited. Anyone have a question? All right. So anyone have a question? We're talking about making a website and what platform to use, and that you have to have domain name, you have to have hosting, and then you have to try hard. Let's see, no more questions, no questions. Guys, if you're interested in this kind of content, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button so you don't miss any future updates. So, okay, let's go with a question. Oh, maybe I should drop this in a comment here. Ask me questions about web hosting types. Web hosting. About web hosting types. So, all right. So I see my own comment. Ask me question about web hosting types. All right. All right. So, okay. So we've been going almost 50 minutes, and I don't see anybody as adding question or contributing to the conversation. Maybe we should continue it another time, because if I finished my presentation, but I need to answer questions you have to help you. But if there's no one and no one have a question, then I'm gonna have to shut down. So, okay. So, okay. So now we can wrap it up because there's no questions, and I guess you may not need my help right now, but make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's about making websites, simple web pages, and other software that you can see on my channel. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up, and maybe tomorrow we'll do another live stream. But make sure you submit a comment in the comment box about the topics you want me to cover in the future, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you. See you in the next video.